Sorry about the hiccup that we had earlier. There was some internet issue that we were facing, but hopefully now you guys can hear us better. Do send in a comment or two to let us know. What we can do is maybe somebody can sum up the scorecard or something that'll give us an idea whether you can hear us or not.
Can we open the scorecard, Shivam?
Yes, on top of your head,
We will run you
for
through the
Gill.
scorecard. A 143-run opening stand for the Indian openers, the highest that they've got against the West Indies in West Indies. Speaking of highest totals, India's highest total in the West Indies also ever in ODI history, 351. So that was the opening stand for India. Then talking about the man who got a chance today, which was Ruturaj Gaikwad, batting at number 3 in place of Virat Kohli, was on the sidelines, 8 runs for him of 14 deliveries. Then you had Sanju Samson light things up out of nowhere. He comes in and starts hitting sixes all around the park. 51 runs for him of 41 deliveries. It was all going well for India. Came in Hardik Pandya, who got you 70 runs of 52 deliveries. It was the late impetus from him that took India past the 350 run mark. It was Suryakumar Yadav who did accompany him for a decent duration in the middle. 35 runs for Suryakumar Yadav of 30 deliveries. Again, one of those occasions where in ODI cricket he couldn't convert his start into a bigger score. And then there was Ravindra Jadeja, who also got to spend some time in the middle. 8 runs for him of 7 balls, 351 for the loss of 5 wickets. India against the West Indies in the series decider.
Can we see the comments now, Shivam? Let's see. Now working. Okay. I just wanted to see your comments, guys. And just when I was going to see it, it's moved down. Okay. Now they're saying the internet is fine. You can hear us. Okay. Great. Now I can see a lot of comments. Suryakumar Yadav, Sanju Samson, there'll be Shan Kishan. We'll talk about all of that, but I'm going to repeat what I said earlier as well. I also want to know from you guys, did any one of you miss Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma today? Why I'm saying that is because a lot of comments came earlier during our lives that, how can you be resting them at the risk of losing a series? Did you miss them? And that is not a sort of a suggestion that we're giving that, oh, you can do without them. Not at all. You are definitely going to need Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma when you go on and play tougher opposition in tougher conditions. The point being, what you saw today, what is that? Pandya blitz?
Okay, that W is missing there.
Yeah, so just
I'll go.
Go and fix it, please.
I'll go.
So just to let you guys know that Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, on a day where your opposition is tough, you're going to need it. Which is why I'm saying in this series, and something that we maintained right from the start, that I don't think there is anything wrong in resting these two, because this Indian batting lineup is also good enough to beat this West Indian team. The only thing that was missing in Barbados was a good batting pitch. That was a very unusual pitch for white ball cricket. That's not to defend that batting lineup. As I said earlier, India should have done better to have gotten more than 180 odd in that second ODI, just as West Indies showed you. Yeah. If you had got 250 on that track, 230, 240, which they could have had they applied themselves, India would have gone on to win that game as well. So not taking anything away, but that pitch wasn't also conducive. See what has happened once you've given them a proper white ball one-day pitch. This Indian batting lineup, made up of mostly players that are auditioning for the World Cup, is also good enough to take on this West Indian attack. But when you have a tougher opposition going forward in the World Cup, of course, then when Virat and Rohit will come back, then your batting lineup will look better. This batting lineup is not bad. Today, opportunities for a lot of players, and that's why I said it's good that you've rested Rohit and Virat. It's because of resting them, finally, I think you've got enough total to win the match, to win the series, plus you've allowed yourself to see a few players and then judge them. Had you played, at the risk of losing this series, if you were worried about the series result, you would have gone on and played Rohit and Virat, then you wouldn't have gotten a chance today to see what a Sanju could have done, or you would have had to drop somebody else and you wouldn't have been able to see what they can do. Now let's look at each player one by one. Verdict on Ishan Kishan, starting 77 again today.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, I think he's been the batter of the series. For India. 350s. Can't take anything away from him.
What does that tell you about the World Cup and Ishan Kishan?
that if our main players in the likes of KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer are unfit, he's probably batting at number 4.
He's making the 11.
Could.
Not the 11.
No, I think so.
He is making the 11.
I think if
KL, yes.
KL and Shreyas aren't fit, then he plays at 4.
With that caveat, but in case they are back, then of course he becomes a second choice.
Yeah, I think he is that one batter who, despite the 2 pitches which I just mentioned weren't great for batting, got you runs there as well, got you runs today as well, at a good strike rate of 120, the 3rd best strike rate of this game. So Ishan now is looks like it, your first choice wicket keeper batter. I know we will get to Sanju Samson because that debate will happen. Shubman Gill, I think that's another heartening thing to come from this game, because everyone knew the quality that Shubman brings, and we had said this earlier also. Even if he didn't have a great West Indies series, he would still be your first choice opener in the World Cup.
True.
There was no debating that. But it's good that he's got some runs.
Yeah.
So some runs under your belt.
And he wasn't streaky or anything. Very much in control, which was the good part.
Yeah.
No, I think he got 11 fours if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, 11 fours.
11 fours for him. No, I think big hits per se. But then again, a guy in complete control, and that's what you want to see. Apart from that ball that probably had his name on it, because it stopped on him. There was some bounce that stopped on him. Guy lost control of that particular ball, but otherwise looked solid. Loved the way he was finding his gaps today.
Absolutely.
Next up.
Rituraj Gaikwad. No. Bad opportunity missed. Get a 50 here, then never mind the cat, because I think that's been set among the pigeons. You're setting the tiger among the pigeons.
But was Rituraj anyway part of your World Cup?
He wasn't.
He wasn't, but I'm just saying, keep your name in the public conscious. Now people will be like, no,
but
you go to the Asian Games, no problem.
But I'm just saying, for let's take Sanju as an example. Had he just played that one game, he had a failure in that game. Today he made runs, I agree. But isn't Rituraj in the same position as where Sanju was?
I'd say slightly lower down.
Yeah, so I'm saying he's also got that one game, right? And should we be judging him on that one game?
Perhaps not.
You shouldn't be judging him, and I don't think they will. I mean, considering the fact that this is the guy who has been made captain for the Asian Games, vice captain of the team in Ireland.
Yes.
I think they do, actually see him or hold him in high regard. So there's a role for him there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I won't feel too bad for him, even though he probably could have done better.
I agree that while he was not in the scheme of things for the World Cup, because when he went to the Asian Games, you knew that he's that backup. But I'm saying sometimes these are the opportunity that come your way, like this one. Had he got a big total today, then suddenly his name would have started doing the round. Because right now you're scampering for those middle order players, right? It would have helped. Also not fair, just that one knock doesn't get you runs, but didn't quite make use of that opportunity. Next up, after Rituraj, Sanju Samson.
Solid 8 out of 10. Would have rated him a 9.5 if he had to get
I'll give him 8.5. First ball he faces, he lofts
He
it.
gave him
8 out of 10. That's a very good score.
It's a very good score.
Oh, you've
Agreed.
given 0.5
more.
Ah.
It would have been a 9 had been a 75 run knock or something. 10 and 10.
If he got 100.
100.
You know what I like?
But with his place on the line, the man played fearlessly, and that's what I loved about it.
That's true.
I agree. That is the best thing that I liked about Sanju Samson, that he played fearlessly. Okay, he came. Maybe it is not so much about him being fearless, more so him knowing his game. Maybe he realized that probably that's the batter that I am, and maybe it's really suiting my game if I play that way.
Correct.
Rather than hang around. Maybe it may not suit him. So maybe he came out. So I like the intent from him. The only thing, again, I will raise a question over. The only thing, because of the amount of talent he has, again, is 51 enough right now? Because he's competing for that one spot. Is 51 enough? He was in the perfect place. He had got that 50 odd. Enough overs remaining. Was in the perfect place to get a big daddy 100.
Correct.
Was primed to get a big daddy 100.
You know, when
but gives away his wicket. I'm sorry. Gives away.
it again sort of, you know, in just that one moment that he got out, it took me back because I knew this conversation would happen, not just here, but otherwise as well, that Sanju debate would be raging. It took me back to his IPL days, let's say, the IPL days of the recent past, wherein he got you those couple of 50s at the start, then came that lull, came that odd 50, and then nobody was talking about Sanju the whole time. This innings will again go down like that.
What I'm saying is this inning is, if he was here, it's taken him here in terms of conversation.
Here,
Some
so not much.
But
not
it's
much.
an elevation, you say.
Yeah, but Daddy 100 would have taken him here. Then everyone would have been, no, Sanju, we want Sanju. Anyway, he's really loved on social media. He has a massive fan following. A conversation would have gone 2 levels higher, I feel. If that Daddy 100 had come, it wasn't to be. As I said, he was set. I like the way that he was playing aggressively, but could very well have. Look at the maturity with which Hardik played. That's the kind of maturity that he showed. A bit more maturity, Big Daddy 100 could have changed it. But I still think it's a start.
Yeah.
It's better than where he was, where, Siddharth's not here today, but he would have said, in a T20 year, you make him play ODI, ODI year, make him T20. He's got two games, ODI. What that tells you is that they have real intent of giving him a chance. So that suggestion was that no, they don't want to give him a chance only, and that way not have him in that.
No, his point was they don't treat him well.
That's what, so that make him play a different format, so he's never in the conversation. But that's not the case. They've given him now 2 games, so they want him to do well.
Yes.
They are looking at him as a possible candidate, as a wicketkeeper batsman. He well might be. The talk will be Ishan Kishan is a top order batsman, he's a lower order batsman, so have him, and he can be a better substitute for KL Rahul. But don't forget, KL Rahul from a top order batsman had started coming into the middle order and performing. Right now, Ishan Kishan is ahead of Sanju in terms of the runs he's getting. He'll say, I don't mind. He wants to be part of the 11. So I don't mind. I'll play middle order. But he's given them some sort of an impetus and some sort of a situation where the Indian team will have to now think of Sanju. This 50 would have kind of helped him. Not really pushed his case as to force everyone to include him, but kind of pushed his case. But still, as I said, if he really wanted to ensure that any doubts, or even if there are any biases, if there are, I don't think there are, but if there are conspiracy theories, all of that is true, then a Daddy 100 would have put paid to any plans they have.
Basically, at this point, he's at the door. He gets that big 100 and he's blown the door down.
Yeah.
At that point, it doesn't matter who else is at the door.
He's just got his foot in the door. This has been like, I won't let you close this door on me. My foot is there. That's what he's done.
I need to blow it down. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what Sanju Samson said. He said it feels really great to spend time in the middle, score some runs and contribute for your country. I had different plans for different players. I wanted to use my feet and dominate the lengths of the bowlers. He says that being an Indian cricketer is challenging because he was asked about batting in different batting position. So he said it is challenging because obviously he needs to find a spot in the team. He's also a top order batsman, let's not forget. But for the Indian team, he's have to play there. He says, I played domestic cricket for the last 8-9 years and for India here and there. So it gives you a bit of understanding of playing in different positions. It is the number of overs you get, and it's not about batting position. So you got to prepare accordingly. He says Kensington Oval was a bit damp, and that explains why runs were very tough to come by. But he says this surface looks a bit dry. With the new ball, it was coming on nicely. But as the ball got old, it was holding up and became slightly tough against the spinners. So it was not going to be easy to get that score. Credit goes to the middle order batters hanging in, getting that score. With our bowling order, I'm confident that we'll win. So pretty pertinent points that he says. He's talking about how tough it is sometimes to keep changing your batting order. That's what happens to him. But as I said, if you're not 100% sure to be in your playing 11, you'd have to make those adjustments. But what he talks about interestingly, is that easier to bat higher up when the ball was new than when it got old. It puts into perspective the knock that Hardik Pandya played, by the way. And look at the strike rate at which Hardik Pandya played. So 70 or 52 deliveries at a strike rate of 134. I know that strike rate came much later, but nonetheless the best strike rate of the innings at a time where it wasn't easy, in the words of Sanju Samson.
Sanju Samson. Yeah.
So I think in that sense, if you're looking at what he said that when the ball became older, I think by the time Hardik started hitting, the second new ball would have come into play. So he actually picked his moments. That's actually even bigger credit than to someone like a Hardik, because he chose to wait for that moment rather than look to throw his wicket away. Because again, in the middle overs, how is it that Sanju got dismissed? It was Mario Shepard who bowled him a cutter, so it stopped on him. So, and even if you look at the other wickets that fell, I think Gudikesh Moti got one of them. It was Gill, who got Gill was gotten rid of by Gudikesh Moti. Again, kind of stopped on him. So it wasn't that easy to take on the spinners at that point. So you kind of had to bide your time, do what Pandya does, do the Dhoni tribute act, take it deep, and then once the ball is new and hard, go for it.
No, but I think what they do is there are two new balls simultaneously, right? 25 overs. So it is an old ball that he's actually batting against. But credit to him, as I said, that now the ball doesn't get that old.
So I know if you reminded of a certain Virat Kohli stroke against Pakistan when Hardik hit that ball right over the bowler's head in the last over. It took me by surprise. The
Haris Rauf
6, basically.
Not an easy shot. You don't get to see it daily.
Maybe, but I think again, as heartening as it was to see some form for Shubman Gill, because he's a certainty in the 11. Similarly, for Hardik Pandya, I think for the Indian team, for Hardik Pandya himself, very important knock, because you need a Hardik Pandya firing, and you need a Hardik Pandya not just that top order batsman who was batting in the IPL and getting runs. This is a Hardik Pandya who's playing a finisher's role. He did that today. So you actually need, because that's the role he's going to be playing for the Indian team, batting at 6 more often than not. So you need a Hardik Pandya who can finish off the game.
6 or 7? Came at
6. He came in at
6.
No, but today he came at
7. Today is 7. Surya.
Yeah, but I'm saying he is going to be batting at 6.
Again, India, number 6.
Yeah, because Surya, you gave him a chance. You wanted him to
number
bat.
5, yeah.
So today he's come.
He came at 5 actually, which is, I think 5-6 is where you'd be expecting him to bat even.
So I'm saying his role of a finisher is what is what you're looking at, and I'm only looking at him playing that finisher's role. Doesn't matter with 5, 6, 7, whatever you're talking about, but the role that he needs to play. So I think that's the other positive.
He's the other guy, and I know Siddhartha, dear colleague, isn't a big fan of the Mahendra Singh Dhoni template, but Hardik Pandya is not just a student of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but he is a very good executioner also of that particular theory.
Barring that one game against Delhi Capitals, yes.
Yeah.
Now to the elephant in the room, Suryakumar Yadav.
Time's up.
No, this was last chance alone.
You think last chance?
I think it was the last chance.
Time's up.
I think now they'll look beyond him. I don't think he'll be out of the squad, but you're not guaranteeing him a first
out of the
choice.
squad, as in how does he make the 15 then?
No, I'm talking about right now.
You're talking about the larger pool of, let's say, 18.
I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about 18, because see, right now, once a Shreyas comes back, he slots in automatically.
Yeah.
Then again, after that, I think
But
there may be a fight.
Are you saying that there is somebody now they want in place of Surya to be the backup if Shreyas isn't there? Are they willing to offer someone a chance now?
Ishan maybe.
I think so too. I am not sure of Ishan though, if he'll be the guy.
No, I'm not sure either, but he's the only one who's gotten you runs. So I think that's the logic.
But my point is, how do you look at Suryakumar Yadav's knock? He got out in the 47th over, right? Just about 3 overs to go. What else could he came out to bat at that time? If you really needed to see him,
no, he spent decent time. No, 34.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So exactly
25.
my point.
Yeah.
So what is it that tells you it's his last thing? He got out in the 47th over. I mean, what would he achieve playing 3 more overs if he did?
See, when I look, because I'll talk about that change thing application of it, because again he got out to a cutter, failed to read the slower one. Again, these are not the kind of, because I am looking at Surya in death overs to be replicating what he does in T20 cricket.
But you heard from Sanju saying it wasn't easy to bat on at that time.
But then Hardik got you runs. He converted, right?
Yeah, but Hardik got.
You're looking at
but
Surya doing
Hardik-
that even more.
But Hardik came much higher. up
And this
in
is,
the
I'll tell you what
so he
goes
could
against
set
Surya.
up his innings.
Because he didn't get you runs in the first two testing conditions. Today, batting conditions, and not a 50 to show.
No, but how? He comes much later. My point is he's gotten out.
Even
at the
Hardik
death.
raced to his 50 and.
Arre
good
Baba,
should his
Hardik
runs.
has come 10 overs before him, so he's got the chance to bat those many overs to then do that end.
But last 15-17 runs, this for Pandya also, the acceleration came in that, like he got about 10-15 runs in the last over.
Agree. What I'm saying is, how much more he would have got at best when he got out? There were all of 18 balls remaining.
He could have gotten a
7,
50.
8.
Could have gotten a 50.
You would have got another 7, 8 deliveries to play at best.
15 runs of that is possible.
10
For
at
Sky,
least.
for Sky.
And this is, by the way, let's not forget his highest score in the last 6
So,
ODI innings
okay,
now.
assuming he would have, so 50 versus 35, huge difference. 15 more runs would have changed
Optics.
your thoughts
Optics.
about.
Oh, okay.
Suryakumar
If not
Yadav's
even a
future.
50. If not even a
Let's
50.
say he got those 15.
Even if he
in
didn't
the
get-
8 balls that he got more.
Even if he didn't get a 50, if he had to, I don't know, be either unbeaten, get a few more.
So
Yeah,
you're saying,
perhaps.
okay, I'm saying 48 unbeaten. Hyper.
Would have taken
So
that.
you're saying 35 is out, 48 not out
Yeah.
is what best he could have got. Considering
No.
that makes a full change.
No, I don't see a huge change in my opinion. I'll tell you what, because this was a batting track.
No, it would for me because
This
he came
was-
lower
So I'm
down the
saying
order.
batting track also, let's say 48 not out, right, is what he would have got. So assuming he got, so I'm saying 35 out, 48 not out. Changes the whole perspective.
It does for me. Because I think what then
Like
we would have
13 runs
Yes, because then he would have at least batted out, gotten the maximum number of balls that he could have gotten, and then perhaps the maximum runs.
But
Here
that
is-
way,
here
the
is
question
what if,
applies
it's
both ways. I'm
hypothetical.
just saying then 13 runs short, 22 if he got out on, then would he be relevant?
Oh, 22, he
22
got out
to-
very early, then he would not.
Then,
be
then,
there.
then
So
we'd
there's
not
no
even be
talk.
having
See,
this
if you're talking
conversation.
about volume of runs, then
Not
12
volume.
runs here
I'm
and
saying
there.
where he's getting. See, where he's batting today, and how many balls he would have played anyway. See, I'm saying, let's say if he had batted where Ruturaj batted
Yeah.
and got 35 out, then you'd say, hello, you got half the bloody game to go. What have you done? I'm saying he only came out to bat at what? The
Six.
40th over?
He was he was number 6
40th over,
today.
he's out of the 46th over. So, what is it that he could have done much more? 48 not out?
Yeah.
If he had got those 7.
True.
So I'm saying between 35 out and 48 not out changes his future.
Not his future, but I think definitely it wouldn't have helped his case as much. Again, if let's say he's at the door, then he hasn't moved really ahead or behind. He's kind of there,
Yeah.
stagnant.
Unlucky for him, he also got those 2 pitches where nobody else got much runs unless you were an opener. Where the
And
ball was-
only Ishan Kishan.
Actually, even there, Gill struggled. So it was actually only Ishan. So Ishan emerges with a lot more credit.
So it does. We discussed him. I think he now, if KL's not there and not fit in time, he's your number 1
5.
choice now.
Because for the very simple reason that he's also the only other proper wicketkeeper you have. In fact, with Sanju, I don't know who made it that comment recently during one of the broadcasts. It was on the digital broadcast. Sabah Karim said it. He said that Sanju is very much a reluctant wicketkeeper at times. So I don't know. And again, that could be his opinion.
But I think he would have kept.
Oh, he would have. If
you
you're giving
give
him that
yeah.
chance, sure, he'll take it with both hands, literally.
Just not. Can we take a few questions before we wind up? The innings has started, but we'll take a few questions for sure.
SP Roy.
Yeah, he says that with Dravid, experiments are nothing new. Even as a captain and now as a coach, he did it last year as well. And same. I still don't think there's a proper backup for 4-5. And also, I feel Iyer and KL are going to be back in time. If they are, there's no debates or questions about anything.
Okay. And other comment?
Shubham
Shubham
Garg says that the problem with many aggressive batters in ODIs is that most of these days batters are not left for the final push. It happened versus Lanka, New Zealand, where Virat and Gill actually finished off the innings. Live by the sword, die by the sword, in essence.
Yeah. True, but I'm saying 300 and how many that India has got?
51.
351.
51.
Those are key runs. I mean, again, if you go back to say...
How much more do you want?
Exactly. And even if you're looking at it, like I remember, say, England of 2019, reigning world champions. I don't recall too many occasions where their openers batted through. But Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow were consistently giving them rollicking starts. Which is all you really not.
Foundation, yeah.
You'd get the rollicking starts.
So I was asking, today where he went to bat, what more could he have done? If you really wanted to see him today, maybe, could have batted a different position But I guess you didn't have any option because you wanted to test Ruturaj also. You wanted Hardik also to get some runs. So maybe you made him bat there. Fair enough. If he does not play, sure enough, he got those chances. He could have got runs. But I'm saying, I'm just looking at it. 2 pitches he got were, not really the best of batting pitches.
True.
The third, he comes out to bat when there are about 10 overs to go. He bats 7 of those, gets you 35. Maybe you could have expected a bit more, but I'm just saying, what would have got 8-9 more deliveries, 10-15 more runs. So do those 10-15 runs change his future? Is that a big gap? Well, that's a question that all of you can look to answer. I'm just putting a question out there. Also telling you, I know that you'll keep saying separate the 2 formats. T20s, let's say if Sky has a series like Sky can have a series, then I'd enjoy being discussing and being part of those conversations when the Indian team would be picked. So, but if you don't pick him, I have no issues. I think you gave him chance, really couldn't capitalize on it. So be it. If you have better options waiting,
then why not?
Bring them in. Sure.
I have Karthik K joining us also from the USA, saying that he suggested 4, 5, 6 for Hardik, Sanju and Sky just a few days back on our show. I remember him saying it and almost got it right. Saying Sky at 6, the advantage he has that he can just go blazing rather than pace his innings. Whereas with Sanju and Sky being in the middle order, they can give Hardik Pandya that time to accelerate at the end. So let him take the game deep, then in the last overs, just go
I
ballistic.
think Rahul had, in the build-up to the series while we were making the squad, I think Rahul had come up with the suggestion, and I've liked that suggestion since then. It's something, I like the fact that he's now coming, much lower in the order. I think it will suit him as well. And that's
so what did you see? But you today, when you came lower down the order, you have
that's
said that it's done.
I'm saying it's much better than seeing him bat at
But
number
now
4.
you have decided he's done, na?
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
where will you see him? So you like the idea out of the matter, you finished him.
No. But
You
I'm
said
just saying,
done.
this is still better than what we saw.
But you finished him.
Yeah,
The first time he comes out to bat at 6.
But again, see, we've done it. How much does our opinion matter? He's going to play 5
I'm asking his
T20s.
opinion only, but he's here to give his opinion. So I'm asking him. He wants him to bat at 6. Today he batted at 6, but you saw him and you've said done. So it's done.
Again, no, not really. 5 T20I Skies in the squad. He'll do something there. He'll again come back into the conversation. It's a never-ending conversation.
Maybe.
No,
no issues.
Then it's a cultivated conversation then. You want the conversation to not die down. You see, this is like sitting for that exam, you're going to pass with flying colors, and then you ask somebody to go give a cat, okay, 12th ho gaya, chalo, now give cat. 12th ho you aged. 100 CBSC, no great shakes. Now do this, now do cat.
Well,
Okay, Shivam, our producer, with a big prediction. He says, quote unquote, Sky will play the World Cup.
Interesting.
Jita de yaar.
Of course. 10-year drought?
No.
Just take some normal comments.
GGK.
The big Sanju Samson fan. So I think we got the answer. Sanju ahead of Sky, even as a pure batter. And he's also a better number 4 than Ishan. If Sanju is not even in squad, then it is India's loss. I mean, fair point. And Akash Bhardwaj also with an interesting point saying that we're judging it wrong. Ishan is not an opener. Will he open in Asia Cup? To be fair, he is an opener. But will he open in Asia Cup? No, probably not. That's the thing. If they would really want to do the experimentation, then you'd have no choice. But at that point,
See,
to put
this
him
is
at
where
number
Rohit Sharma and the team management will be put to test.
4. Exactly.
What do you do then? Okay, you've been able to gauge that, okay, Ishan is in form. Now what do? Does Rohit demote himself every match? Now obviously that's not happening.
Yeah, not happening at all.
Would that be it?
You can just go down, see if you find something else.
Tejas feels that Ishan and Gill will open because of their chemistry. Kohli at number 3. Rohit will bat at number 4,
dear
he
Lord.
feels. No, that's not happening, I guess. 5 comes Hardik Pandya. Sky and Jadeja at 5, 6, 7, he says, for a strong finish. Looks like a strong batting lineup. But Rohit at number 4.
Rohit at
sir,
number 4. No, you're adding to the
that's
khichdi.
happening. Yeah. Khichdi becomes messier.
Yeah.
Chale,
Huh?
with that.
Huh? why are we still unable to find replacement for players like Yuvraj, Raina Kaif, the Pathans, MS Desai and Gambhir?
Yeah, what are you saying, yaar? You've got Hardik Pandya
Yeah.
in your team.
Who's replaced the Pathan?
Yeah, you've
the
got
Southpaw
Shubman
Pathan.
Gill. All new stars. that I'm talking about.
Why is Gill called Prince? You already anointed him your Kohli replacement.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't get that.
Paldopal I heard, that's a Dhoni reference, but I don't know about anything else.
Anyhow,
No, Pranav Shukla is saying the shot from Sanju was on. Of course it was on. It was a slower one. He got out. I know that. It was the mid-off was up. There was no long off, so he went. But that's a. But
fell for
I'm
it.
not saying it wasn't on.
Shot was on. Not criticizing the shot.
Yeah.
The execution on the
I'm
other
just
hand.
saying you none of this will be remembered. You look back at 51 only and you'll say, "Ha, theek hai, wo hai." But the fight is so close. Big 100 is needed, but you never know. I don't think this knock has done his chances any harm,
Yeah.
but could have done far greater good.
Yeah.
Is our only point.
Hmm.
Okay. Shall we
Yes. Match end.
end the match? We will see you. Take all your questions then. Meanwhile, I haven't had dinner. So I'm going to eat.
Off air.
Yeah, I don't have.
That vada pav kept you filled up, huh?
No, so last thing I ate was that vada pav pre-show. After that, I
You
haven't.
lasted the whole innings.
Yeah, I'm not eating anything now.
Actually, when I'm waiting to eat.
Chalo.
You guys also. Huh?
See you
End of the
guys.
match, we'll see you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.